Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley. In today's video, I am going to be giving you the full, complete lowdown on the new NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I have been wearing this foundation now for well over a month, so I think I can give you all the information that you need to make a decision on if you want to try it or not. So this foundation, first of all, let's talk about the packaging. How gorgeous is this packaging? It's this super soft matte, just like the name of the foundation. It's a soft matte texture, and the lid is also really soft and matte, which is just beautiful. So it is a squeeze tube. You do get 1.5 ounces in it. Most foundations are a standard 1 ounce. So you do get 1.5 ounces, which is a little bit more bang for your buck, and it retails for $40. So some of the claims on this, I'm just reading from the box here. Let's see. All right, where are you? Okay, so the new take on matte. Comfortable 16-hour wear, full natural looking coverage, true color, oxidation resistant, transfer proof, and shine proof. So we are going to see if this lives up to those claims. And also, stick around because I'm going to give you some professional tips and tricks towards the end of this video on how to kind of customize this foundation to your own liking. So stay tuned for that. But right now, let's get into the demonstration. Okay, so I have my skin prepped with my moisturizer and my primer and all that jazz. So we're gonna get into the makeup application. I have my product on my little pan here, so I'm all ready to go. I love to use this foundation with a brush, and my favorite brush right now is the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Full Coverage Complexion Brush. It's number 77. I love it with this foundation because it stipples it into the skin really nicely without leaving any streaks. The bristles are very densely packed, but yet they're soft. So we are gonna hop right into it. So again, per usual, I'm doing this on the monitor, so hopefully it looks good. But this is a foundation that you don't want to look at it as less is more, because it is a full coverage foundation and it is meant to be put on, like you put it on. It's not something that you're gonna skimp around with your product. So just put it on. That's the best thing you can do. But you can see the coverage that this gives is so flawless. Oof, I got a little too much on there. Yeah, I definitely got too much on there. But anyway, you can see it gives a nice full coverage. It is definitely a matte finish, but it is not a dry, cracky, flaky, cakey matte finish. Like, this is a foundation that just, the name says it all. It is a soft matte foundation. But this literally covers up any imperfections, blemishes, hyperpigmentation, redness. Covers everything up. I don't need any concealer or spot coverage on my face with this foundation. Like, this will do the job completely. Now I'll still go back and do like my under eye correctors and things like that, but I don't need to go back with any concealer or spot coverage. All right, so that is, you can see the coverage is great and it doesn't look like a cakey mess. So that's one of the things that I love most about this foundation is you get the coverage, you get the matte finish, you get the oil control with none of the other bad stuff that typically goes along with those type of claims and performance and stuff like that. So very happy with that. So I'm going to go finish up the rest of my makeup and then I will be back to give you my additional thoughts on this new foundation. Okay, now that you see how I apply this foundation, I want to go over a couple things with you. So I have tried this foundation with a brush, with a beauty blender, and with my fingers. I definitely prefer the brush. That is just going to be personal preference. I feel like it gives the most flawless coverage and no streaking, and it is most easy to blend with the brush. The beauty blender was nice too, but I feel like it did soak up a little bit of my product, so I don't like that. I just don't like that. So that was one thing with that. So I do prefer to apply it with a brush. Also, I have tried this foundation with different primers. Let me say that if you are an oily skin type, if you have oily skin, this foundation, it is a holy grail. It is the holy grail for oily skin. And with that said, it is very oil controlling and it is matte. I mean, that's what it's advertised to be. It's a matte foundation. However, if you have dry skin, I think you're going to like this too. I would just recommend using more of a hydrating primer underneath so that it's not dehydrating the skin throughout the day. But it is not a dry, flat type of matte finish. It's very comfortable. It's very lightweight on the skin. I will tell you, I can go my whole day without even oil blotting or doing any of that, you know, if I'm just having like a regular normal day. It also doesn't transfer onto the mask. This is the only foundation that I have found, and believe me, I try them all. This is the only foundation that I found that doesn't come off on my stupid face mask. And when I'm at work, typically, I would say I'm in a face mask for a good 5 hours straight. Now, I'll still have like marks from the mask that are like indented into my skin, but I can get through that day without any of my foundation rubbing off like from my nose or from my chin or in through here, like in that contour area where it seems to rub off. There will be a little bit of like residual makeup in the mask, but it doesn't disturb what it looks like on my face. And that is amazing. So I can safely say this is my new favorite foundation, like of life. I have never in my entire makeup life found a foundation like this that doesn't transfer, that holds up and wears this beautiful throughout the day with absolutely no transfer. If you guys watch my other videos, you know I'm a huge fan of the Dior Forever foundation, which I still think is a beautiful, beautiful foundation. But in comparison to this one, the wear, this foundation sets a whole new bar for wearability. It just wears all day and looks great from start to finish. Now, I'll still get a little bit of oil breakthrough. I mean, obviously, if you're an oily skin type, where's that oil gonna go? You know, I mean, you're still gonna produce your oil, but this doesn't break up on my skin. It doesn't look patchy or cakey, and I don't end up looking greasy throughout the day. It almost looks like more of just kind of a natural glow that is shining through, which I can deal with glowy, but I don't want to look greasy. Now, this is a full coverage foundation. If you do not like full coverage foundation, this might not be the ideal option for you. However, if you tried this foundation already, or if you really want that soft matte finish and long wear, I have found a really good product. So, this is the new Too Faced Plump and Prime Luxury Face Plumping Primer Serum. This is a beautiful primer. It really does plump up the skin and looks great. It's very hydrating. Even though I'm oily, I can still get away with using this primer underneath this particular foundation because this foundation is so matte and so oil controlling. But the tip that I want to share with you, if you mix a little bit of this primer in with the foundation, like on the back of your hand or on a mixing palette or pan, whatever you use, if you mix a little drop of it into your foundation, it thins this foundation out and shears out the coverage. So it's not as heavy. That is something that I am going to do for like the summer months, or, you know, if I just want like a lighter coverage throughout the day, because mixing that primer in with it doesn't compromise the wearability or the finish of the foundation. You are still getting that soft matte finish and the long wear and all the other good stuff that comes with this foundation, but it's just not as full coverage. Now, another thing, I would highly, highly recommend this foundation if you have a special occasion. Even if foundation is not your everyday thing, or if you don't really love foundation, or whatever your issue is with foundation. For a wedding, a prom, a special occasion, this foundation is life-proof. And I just highly recommend it. And I am officially switching over to this foundation to use in my professional kit. So that is kind of a big announcement. I am very excited about it because it is not often that I find something that is so incredibly wonderful that I can just swear by for all of my clients and just love so much personally and professionally. So I highly recommend this foundation. It wears all day. I really think that you're going to love it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've tried this foundation or if you're planning on it or what you think of it. And if you did try it and didn't love it, try that primer trick that I talked about, because that does make a difference. And like I said in my demo, don't be shy with this foundation. It is meant to give full coverage. So if you don't like the full coverage, mix that little bit of primer in there and you should be good to go. So I hope this information was really helpful to you guys, and I hope you're as excited about this foundation as I am. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. I hope to see you guys back here soon, and I will see you in my next video.